here's the thing I want to get into today. Let me see. Did I set this thing up right? Because I'm going to have this discussion. I may start over. We may start over. We may start the stream over, and that's cool if we have to do that. No, we're live. All right, we're good. So, I've been noticing creators. Shit, I'm going to have to try to Okay, so there's one brother, is really pushing a rhythm first, a narrative in the bass space. And I don't agree. He's great. He's a freaking great player. And he's got Bass Pro. And a lot of his Instagram content is him, playing along with rhythms. He's really rhythm first. Rhythm centric, right? And then, I'm going to tell you my thoughts on this in a second. But then the Freak bass player, he put out something just recently talking about thumping and plucking. And he said notes first. And it's really a nonsensical argument to me. However, our buddy Jeff Berlin jumps in and, one of these days he's gonna jump in and say my content is completely hogwash, and that'll be okay. Hopefully it'll give some virality. But he praised Freak Bass for being the first slapper to talk about notes coming first. I gotta be honest with you. I disagree. I'm gonna just go on and say I disagree, and the reason I'm gonna disagree with a notes first thing is because, quite honestly, if you can't play the right notes at the right time, it doesn't matter. Period. It doesn't matter. And then some genres, which I was really kind of surprised to see Freak Bass, who is a fantastic player, I was really surprised to see him say notes first. Of course, I don't go and, I didn't go and comment, but I was like, I don't really agree with that. Because I think thumping and plucking and we, and Freak Bass is an accomplished, respected player, been around a long, long time. And so, okay. We're gonna do some watching. Screw it. We're gonna do some watching. So just give me a moment here. Let me get a screen share going, and we're just gonna. I think we're cool to watch. Oh, did it disappear? Did it disappear? Ah, the story's gone. But listen, let's not get it twisted. I respect the stuff out of Freak Bass shared a thought of mine about slap bass, where he seems to be the first, if not the only, online bass figure to actually get the meaning of what I said and to not be misdirected and come to conclusions about it that were never there. Okay, let's see. All right, here's a quote. Notes are first, groove is last. My sharing this for years caused a lot of upset with slappers for years. Why? Logic should inform all slap players that without the notes, no one would have anything to slap or groove with. That's not entirely true. It's not entirely true. Freakbass is the only player to share what every slap teacher should have told their students from day one, that the notes are first. Well done. It's not true. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. If you guys have thoughts, I see 6 people watching. Look, I only got 3 likes, 6 people watching. Do me a favor, hit the like on this video. For the algorithm, it lets YouTube know that folks want to see when my knucklehead behind gets on live or whatever, releases a video, and wants to so I appreciate the likes. I disagree with this. And I'm going to go to my friend ChatGPT because, if you know me, ChatGPT is like the best research assistant there is. I have asked ChatGPT to act as a music historian. Act as a music historian. I want to settle some thoughts that I have about music. What's more important, rhythm or harmony? Or what should be learned first, in your opinion? What came first historically? I'm asking AI, okay? Whether you like AI or not, if you're not using AI, shame on you. The Terminator's coming to get you anyway. Historically, rhythm came first. Before harmony existed as we know it, rhythm ruled. The earliest music traditions across Africa, indigenous cultures, and prehistoric societies were rooted in rhythm and repetition, often tied to ritual, dance, and storytelling. I actually want to park right there. Slap is rhythm. Jade. Hey, good morning, Jade. Good morning. It's rhythm. That's Louis Johnson. If you study Louis Johnson, and I'm not saying not at all that Louis Johnson wasn't a fantastic finger style player. Rhythm is gonna get you. The rhythm is. Michael's bass camp was good. Louis Johnson had a very signature rhythm a signature rhythm or groove that he kind of tied. You can hear that tied in to damn near everything. All of his slap stuff, a lot of his slap stuff, you hear, you can hear the same rhythmic style, right? Rhythm is important. Oh man, this memory just came up. I have to show you this. That is one of my first bass students ever. And this was a proud moment for me because we were both going to a gig, the same gig, but I started teaching her when she was in the 7th grade, and a contemporary of hers named Amina Berry, who was also in Oakland at the time, is now in New Orleans and is really one of the most respected bass players in the city. I did not teach Amina, but they are the same age and come from the same kind of clique. Anyway, the earliest traditions across Africa, indigenous cultures, and prehistoric societies were rooted in rhythm. Listen to any ethnic music. New Orleans, Cuban music. The list goes on and on and on. Instruments like drums, clapping, and body percussion predate string or wind instruments capable of harmonic function. Harmony, especially Western-style chord progressions, didn't emerge until relatively late. Ancient Greece explored tuning systems and modes, but functional harmony only crystallized during Common Practice period, 1600s onward. Bottom line, humans were organizing sound rhythmically before they were organizing it harmonically. I'm no music scholar. I have a degree in music, but classes like this were boring as hell to me, by and large, if I'm to be honest. However, I do know that music is rhythm and pitch. Rhythm and pitch. When we talk about pitch, we're talking about notes, harmony, right? We talk about rhythm, we're talking about how music moves in time. When we talk about tempo, we talk about how fast or slow that music moves in time. It seems pretty simple to me. Those are terms that I use. Let's go on. Functionally. And bass players are the link between rhythm and harmony. We're like tuned drums, right? I haven't even started talking about James Brown and how James Brown, in James Brown's world, everything was a drum. The saxophone was a drum. The bass was a drum. The guitar player was a drum. You know what I mean? The singers, his vocals were drums, percussion, right? Functionally, you can play a note anywhere on the bass. You can play the same note. Yeah, the groove is what hits. Now listen, not at all. I would be woefully irresponsible to say that notes aren't important. They are absolutely 100% important. They're 100% important. But every band director I've ever had, every conductor I've ever worked with, every time I've ever been a band leader, like if you're playing music, if you're in the middle of playing music. Last night I was on a gig and the guitar player wanted to do a song called Old Love by Eric Clapton. Oh, that's such a good song. And I had to learn it kind of like real rushed the night before. And then we didn't play it until the last set. And so I'm kind of trying to remember it or whatever. And I had heard the song. I'd shed the song. I didn't write any charts out for the song, but I knew what it was. Boom. A, D, G, G, C. I knew that, and I knew it had boom, doo, doo, boom, 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 bam, ba, da, da, boom, boom, bam, bam. And what was the what do I have there? I have bop, 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 ah, do, bop, 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 bop. Da 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 da. And as soon as it goes, what do you hear? I said, oh, that sounds like I think you better call Tyrone. So I make connections, but then I hear the rhythm, and so a couple of times I miss some of the changes. But I'm like, okay, I can miss the change, right, and fix because we're live, we're playing, right? But if I am rhythmically locked in and I'm grooving with the rhythm section, I'm aware that I missed a note. The audience isn't aware, right? And not only I can play it, I can physically play it. I say this all the time. I can physically play it. I can see it. I can visualize the pattern right now. Just what I did. Boom, boom. Boom, boom, I can see it. Can I hear it? I can hear it because I can sing it or vocalize it, right? I don't necessarily call that singing, right? So there's that. Now, I have those things, and I've made a connection between this song and another song. Do you see the linguistic connection there? You can type a 1 in the chat wherever you are, even if you're watching a replay. We cannot discount that. We absolutely cannot discount that. Jade says you can come on, girl. Come on, Jade. That's what I'm talking about. Come on, Jade. That's what I'm talking about. You can recover from wrong notes, but not bad rhythm. A missed note can be brushed over, but playing out of time is very noticeable. Come on, Jade. Yeah. And listen, and this is not saying that we just dismissed that we just dismiss notes. Now I'm gonna say yeah, I mean, look, opinions are opinions. I really respect Jeff Berlin. There's no denying the magnitude of the impact of his artistry, his playing, his teaching, all those things. There's no denying any of that. I think the thing that many people take umbrage with Jeff Berlin, myself included, is the painting of very broad strokes. And what I'm about to say does not make me better than anyone else. Listen, I know that I've been around in the space long enough to know that there are people that are aware of me, and some people may look at me and draw their own conclusions, and that's cool. I'm not going to be one of the cool kids for some people. I'm not. But I walk in my own lane. You know what I'm saying? And that's not always easy because, we always have, comparison, but, comparison is a thief of joy. Look, man, can't nobody beat me at being me. And I know what I do. I know what I can do. And I know that, I tried to make a video not too long ago, in the last year. And I tried to put my Adam Neely hat on. And I'm like, I'm not that dude. And it comes off in the video. I'm not that dude. That dude is brilliant at what he does. And but I lost my train of thought there. I don't know, man. What I think is, it ain't that serious. It's not that serious. But if I had to put my opinion in the ring, rhythm is going to come first. Functionally, rhythm is the foundation. Rhythm is universal. Harmony is cultural. Ooh. Rhythm is universal. Harmony is cultural. I don't know how I feel about that. Not all music systems use harmony as we think of it. Gamelan, Indian classical, West African drumming, but all music has some concept of rhythm or time. And this is why I say I am really a person who says all music has groove, not just urban styles of music, not just funk, R&B, soul. All music has a groove. In ensemble context, bad rhythm breaks up the group. Bad harmony might just sound off, but bad time destroys the feel. That's it. Both are cultural. Yeah, both are cultural. But Michael's Basecamp says both are cultural. Absolutely. But what Jade said just a second ago, in ensemble, she said it in her own language. In ensemble context, bad rhythm breaks up the group. Bad harmony might sound off, but bad harmony destroys the feel. Smart skeptic angle. So I have ChatGPT. When I will often talk to ChatGPT on my phone, but I really have it set up personalized to always kind of push back on things and not, Smart skeptic angle. You could argue that melody, a horizontal mix of pitch and rhythm, is more essential than either on its own, but melody still requires time to unfold. Pedagogically, now we're talking teacher language here. Pedagogically, rhythm should come first. I agree with this. If I ask a student to play a note, even if I ask them to play it out of time, I think, and you guys are fully free to push back on me on this, but I think that in order to know what out of time is, you have to have some idea of what in time is. Type a 1 in the chat if you agree with me. Type a 2 in the chat if you think we can unpack that a little bit more. Type a 3 in the chat if you think I'm completely full of horse manure. All of those are valid. And here's the thing. I don't win a prize for being right about anything. That's the thing. I don't win a prize about being right about anything. All I know is when I go to like the gig I'm playing tonight, when I go to the gig tonight, I can tell you beyond the shadow of a doubt, there's not one gig. I graduated from college in 2011. I was a teacher for well over a decade, and nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit. Hey, man, do you know this song? Hey, man, do you have good time? Does your gear work? Can you hold it down? I don't care how you got there. Can you play this shit? That's all they care about. That's all anybody cares about. Pedagogically, learn rhythm first. Why rhythm first? Rhythm is more immediately graspable, even by non-musicians. A student with strong rhythm can groove convincingly, even with one note. Once again, saying what Jade said earlier, play in a band without disrupting the pocket. Now, when we talk about pocket, I mean, that could be a very esoteric term. Support others musically without advanced theory. Harmony without rhythm, confuse noodling. Rhythm without harmony, a groove. As a historian and educator, I'd say teach rhythm first, teach it deeply, and let harmony ride on top of it, because even the richest chords. When I was teaching, so I taught, I only did 1 year, but I did like TK or pre-K, and those are like, brutal. It takes a special kind of patience and disposition to work with kids that young. But a couple of things that I learned from that experience was, one, you cannot take yourself too seriously. You simply cannot. You just cannot be into yourself like that when you're working with little kids. Two, you don't teach little kids music by putting paper in front of them. And I can't tell you how many times I went ta ta ti ti ta. There's another. Shoot, I'm trying to think. Maybe I'll leave a link to a video of a class that I was teaching. Button, you must wander, wander, wander. There's a lot of songs that I would teach the song first, and then I would write down. I write down lines. So the song "Button, You Must Wander," I would write da 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 da, and I would have them. We have sung it already. We have already sung the song. Button, you must wander. So I'd write that rhythm first, and then I'd have them clap it. T, 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 ta, ta, right? And then the next line, and then I'd be like, okay, I'm going to do this part. You're going to do this part. And then I would tie it back, and I'd be like, oh, does anybody know what that is? And they'd be like, oh, that's button. That's Button, You Must Wander, right? And I'm just pulling these out of the air right now, like, totally unplanned, but there's another song, favorite song of mine, and it would be great to teach like rounds and different things like that. It was a song that went to stop a train in cases of emergency. You pull down the chain, penalty for improper use, £5. So those movements. You know how I'm always talking about keeping, if you've seen any of my videos talking about rhythm and time, it has to be in your body, right? So all these moves, to stop a train in cases of emergency, you pull down the chain, penalty for improper use, £5. All those things are keeping, So then what we would do, we would take outwards. A train in cases of emergency, you penalty for improper use, £5. In cases of emergency, do you see what I'm saying? Internal. But you never just start off. Well, I never just started off teaching kids anything about music with written page. Hang on one second, guys. I'll be right back. I have a delivery that I need to grab. Hold on one second. Sorry, gang. I'm back. Had a Starbucks delivery. Let me read some of these comments because I don't know, man. I just like discussing this kind of stuff, and I don't need to be right about anything. Cyan says, I think my message didn't send, but this is the song 777-9311 a good example for this topic. On bass, it plays in key, but it feels like it's more rhythm. I'm going to tell you something. And I feel like I have an informed opinion on this. Informed experience. And I never forget this. I love Prince. I love Prince like he was a member of my own family. Like really, really, really. And when I moved out to the Bay Area, I wasn't really so sure about like how deep the Bay Area connection was. Anyway, I say all that to say that over time, I got to know Levi Caesar. And Levi Caesar recruited me to do some subbing for his Prince tribute. And this was shortly after Prince passed away. And we were playing, God, I don't remember. It was really a treat. It was really a treat. Because I was playing, I'm going to get to my point, I swear to God. I was playing with Levi with that. I played in Jody Watley's band with Levi. And I played in another project with Levi and his son on drums. Levi's son, Michael, on drums. And like I said, this was right around the time Prince passed. And I just got a lot of insights. And I can remember we were playing something and I was playing my 5-string V7, the one I got rid of, the Sire V7. And he took the bass out of my hand and he was showing me something about, it might have been Baby I'm a Star, something like that. Or even Computer Blue. And he was like, look, man, it's all rhythm. It's all, and he's like, the rhythm is, it's like barely any notes. The grease is in this rhythm. Everyday people. Shit. I don't know. Context is key. Like if you say, I sang Everyday People last night twice. Can you believe that? If I sometimes I'm right and I can be wrong. My own beliefs are in my song. The butcher, the baker, the drummer, and then makes no difference what group I'm in. I am everyday people. I don't know, man. That's a shitty example. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think rhythm come first. But then context is still key. Let me read some other context. Cyan. So the rhythm on 777-9311 is absolutely it's absolutely rhythmic. I mean, you know, shit, you got to put them notes in the right rhythm. If you don't have that rhythm, if you don't have that groove, if you don't have that feel, then you know, it doesn't matter what notes you play. Michelle Ndegeocello is also a fantastic, example. I think, I'm about to tell y'all something. I heard, and I can't remember. It was a Bay Area musician who said this to me. I can't remember who it was. Look, I got 13 people here and 9 likes, man. Get them likes up, man. Just K, what's going on? Who was it? Was it a jive? Well, they were basically saying rhythm is tribal. Rhythm is not tribal, but the notes and shit is cerebral. We were talking about guitar players, and I ain't gonna lie, we were specifically talking about black guitar players and white guitar players, and it was in the context of like rock guitar players and funk guitar players. This was a conversation I had in like the late 90s, early 2000s. Damn, I wish I could remember the full context of this conversation. Yeah, I mean, Cyan says, I get what you're saying, because in 777, most of the bass is ghost notes. In between, why is that? Okay. In between actual notes, like how does a person even think about those sounds on, because you're listening. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you're studying that music, just like if you were studying any other kind of music, you would see the things that are kind of important, or, shit just ain't really that heady to me. And for me, I think I say this all the time, man. I think a lot of it goes back to what kind of music you want to play and who you want to play it with. Let that be your guide about what's important to learn first. I will say nothing, there's no other genre of music that expands your understanding of harmony and the neck like jazz. That does not mean that if you could play jazz, you could play anything. That ain't what I'm saying. That is not what I'm saying. Let me dig into that a little bit. I know some cats that could play the shit out of some jazz, but they funk is like non-existent. It's not something that I'm funking to. And vice versa. I understand how walking bass lines work. I have a decent understanding of my neck. I could know it better. There's some things, I'd like to find a teacher for myself. You know what I mean? But even at this stage of the game where I'm at, me playing all that stuff, I would, like, if I went to a teacher, if I were to find a teacher for myself, for me, with the experience that I have and all that, y'all ready for this? I need you to type a 1 in the chat, because I think I'm about to give you some game. I think I'm about to give you some mad game. I'll be giving away a lot of free game on YouTube, bro. A lot of free game. Also, today is my my alumni picnic for my school. I haven't decided, my high school. I haven't decided if I'm going to ride my bike up there to the park or if I'm going to drive my car. It's not far from my house, but it is hot here right now. I've been out of school for 37 years. I look good, don't I? I'm fucking around, okay? Just chill out. 37 years! Been out of high school longer than Jade been a living. For me, if I, Theodore Gould, were looking for a bass teacher, for myself, I would probably look for a teacher. Baseline Project, what's up? I would probably be looking for a teacher that would challenge me, push me in a compositional, get me out of some boxes that I have for composition. Composition. That's for me. But why would I do that? Jade said, class of 15, gang, gang. That's some young people shit right there. She said, gang, gang. Oh, my God. You know what? I'm going to just say it. I just got to say this right off the bat. This is what I love. Every time I see Jade come in the room, I'm just happy. I'm happy because historically my channel has been like men 30 and up, and the like Baseline Project is here. So I'm starting to see more ladies come in, and when they're younger, I'm like, okay, it's not some old folks. She said class of 15, gang, gang. Wow. Ready for my rocker. Yeah, I would probably find somebody that could help me with composition. Because I have... Oh, no, Jay, you around family here right now. You straight. But I would want somebody who would be able to point out to me. I would need somebody that's ahead of me enough to be able to recognize where I am at and how to get me to where I wanted to go based on my goals. I know enough to know that I would want to have some goals in mind. When I first started seeking out teachers on my own as an adult, I was going to folks and I was like, I don't know what I don't know, and I don't know what I really need to know. I kind of know that I can play, but I don't really know what the next thing is. And one of the guiding things for me, to be quite honest with you, one of the guiding things for me was as I started to get older and I realized, hey man, you're not going to be young, and whatever you think is charming is not going to last forever. So I was like, how do I make a living as a musician? That's where I was, right? And it became less about, when you're a kid and you want to be a star. It was less about that and more about, how do I pay some bills as a musician? So then I already could play, but I didn't have a good jazz background. I didn't know a whole lot of tunes. You know what I mean? Like, and I mean tunes that I could go play with other people and make some money. My ears weren't that good. They weren't as good as I thought they were. My reaction time wasn't that good. But I knew that I wanted to make a living as a bass player, as a musician. So this is my journey. This doesn't have to be your journey. So then I was like, oh, you should learn all these things. Now, the mistake that I did, and I'll be honest with you, going to school and getting a degree in music was a mistake. I don't regret it, but it's not something that I would do again, and it's not something that I would recommend people do. Because there are only two real roads to go down when you pursue an education in music. One is performance. Well, shit, I'm already performing. You can learn that on the street. Two, education. Now, I wound up going the education route, and that has been very rewarding. It has opened a lot of new doors. Blah 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 blah. But I would not have majored in music. I wouldn't have done it. I just wouldn't have done it. But I think I'm going to go down fighting when I say that if you can answer the question, what kind of music do you want to play and who do you want to play it with, you're going to save yourself a lot of time. You're going to save yourself a lot of time and just a lot of heartbreak. That's what I think. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? What do y'all think? And I'm gonna get off here soon so I can. But let's get back, because I know there's some new people that have come in here. I know people be coming in. Y'all be coming in late, man, and then y'all be like, "What the hell is he talking about? I thought he was talking about la 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 la." And I'm like, "Well, I was, and I got tired of talking about that." So what I asked, let's go back to what I asked ChatGPT. What I asked ChatGPT was about I asked ChatGPT to act as a music historian. Final verdict, rhythm came first. Rhythm is more universal, and rhythm should be taught first. Without it, harmony falls apart. Would you like to zoom in on how this impacts your teaching philosophy or base curriculum specifically? Let's unpack this like a real music historian would, with receipts from anthropology, etymology, and Western music theory. Here's the straight up answer framed in 3 ways. Historical sequence. Archaeology and anthropology are clear on this. The earliest instruments known to humanity, write this down, class. The earliest instruments known to humanity, drums, rattles, and clappers, are rhythmic. Flutes came later. I don't know what that says. 43,000 years ago, but organized harmony is what I said. I said harmony. Gosh darn it. But organized harmony as a concept did not emerge until millennia later, with ancient Greece dabbling in modes and ratios. Functional harmony, meaning chord progressions and tonic-dominant relationships, didn't solidify until the Baroque period, 1600. In short, drum roll, please. People danced to drums long before they sang in thirds. Cognitive and cultural angle. Rhythm is more universal. Rhythm is innate. Babies respond to rhythm before pitch. Every culture on earth has rhythm-based traditions, even those without harmony in a Western sense, e.g., Western African polyrhythms, Japanese taiko, indigenous war chants. Harmony is historically, God dog it, I can read. Harmony is culturally specific. Western harmony, this is what I get when I'm trying to sound too smart. Marcus Bass, what's good? Wayne, what's up, Basshead? Harmony is culturally specific. Western harmony is a relatively narrow tradition. Many global musics emphasize timbre, melody, or rhythm over harmonic progressions. So, from a cross-cultural perspective, rhythm is music's universal language. Harmony is more of a dialect. Wow, I like that. Pedagogical. I can read. Pedagogical priority. Learn rhythm first. Here's what tends to happen if you teach harmony before rhythm. Students know which notes to play, but can't groove, can't lock in with others, and don't sound musical. I'm going to stop there. The reason I'm going to stop, I'm going to pause right there because there's an emphasis on the word groove in this dialogue that I'm having with ChatGPT, and that is ChatGPT spitting back language in the way that I talk to it. Understand. Let me explain to you how I talk to ChatGPT. I have ChatGPT on my phone. Can you tell me how James Brown's view of rhythm and harmony changed music? I'm not sure if that's the right way to ask that question, but let me know if that makes sense to you.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah, James Brown had a massive impact on the way we think about rhythm and harmony in popular music. Before James Brown, a lot of popular music focused heavily on melody and harmony. But James Brown shifted the focus to rhythm in a way that was revolutionary. He basically made every instrument in the band, from the horns to the guitars, part of the rhythm section. And this approach became the foundation of funk. You know, he would often strip down harmonic progressions to just a couple of chords or even one chord and then layer these complex interlocking rhythms on top. That changed the game for so many genres that followed, including funk, hip hop, and even R&B and pop. So it was all about the groove, and that really set his music apart.
I be having full-on conversations with ChatGPT like it's my partner. You know, I think rhythm. So Wayne, what you're saying? So like, what what you missed because you were late. We need 20 push-ups. Is that what ChatGPT responded? Historically, rhythm came first. Alley on bass, alley on bass. Good morning, Ted. I sounded just like my mother just there. I had a musical mentor who said soloing starts with rhythmic intention. Yeah. Yeah, so, respect to Jeff Berlin, but I think he's full of shit a little bit with, oh my God, did I say that out loud? I didn't mean to say that out loud, y'all. It's one of the Men in Black pens. I don't have no, as I was saying before, I don't have there's no prize I get for being right. I don't win a prize for being right about this. So I'm not even saying that I'm right. What I'm saying, what I have done, here's I said, I saw it. And for those of you who are just coming to the party, what sparked this was a post from Freakbase. And Freakbase, I saw this. I want to see some of the comments, really. I saw this post from Freakbase a few days ago, and I just feel like, I don't necessarily agree with that. When he was talking about notes are first, I did not agree with that. I didn't agree with that. And it's okay for me to not agree. I didn't comment or anything like that, but Jeff Berlin commented, and notes are first, groove is last. And, Also, I want to talk a little bit more. In just a second, I want to talk a little bit more about this concept of the one. I want to talk a little bit about this concept of the one in just a second. I want to see some of the comments. That's crazy to think Jeff even understands slapping because honestly, he doesn't. He's an old man stuck in his old ways, as there are hundreds of slappers, thumpers, and pluckers that make music not concentrated on the note but the groove. One being Prince. One being Prince, who made an art form of adding ghost notes. Listen, No, this person, Neil Moore is not, and a lot of times you're gonna tell, the brothers are gonna like really disagree with this, and kind of going back to the comment that I was trying to say earlier. If I look through these comments, I'm gonna notice a lot of the brothers are going to disagree with what Jeff is saying, and they're going to cite things like this, or what's on the screen. They're going to cite things like Prince and Jay. If you really listen, God dog it, type of one in the chat if y'all ready for this. So, listen, when everybody's like, Prince got 3 bass lines on Alphabet Street. Number one, that is not revolutionary at all. It's not revolutionary. It had been done before. Prince did it. If you think about Prince's approach to bass was a frequency, an ornament. There are just things. The bass is just doing things. But I want you to listen to some Funkadelic or some Parliament. And I want you to listen for actual bass lines. I'm not saying that they aren't there, but the bass lines are not there in the same way that you would have, off the top of my head, Papa Was a Rolling Stone, or Brick House, or Skin Tight, or Brown Eyed Girl for that matter, right? They're not there in the same way because you got Bootsy doing one thing, which is some ornamental filter and, affected stuff. And then you got Bernie Worrell doing stuff in the left hand as well, right? And all of that stuff is rhythmic interplay. And it ain't a whole bunch of notes either. The bags that they're digging in are tribal, indigenous bags, rhythm bags. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? I think I'm making perfect sense with what I'm saying. I really do. Rhythm comes first. I stand on business. I'm standing on business, as the kids say. Class of 15, gang. Love you, Jade. Listen, watch this. That's crazy to think Jeff even understands slapping because he honestly doesn't do it. He's an old man stuck. I hate that, but I get it. There are hundreds of slappers, thumpers, and pluckers that make music not concentrating on the note, but the groove. One being Prince, who made an art form of adding ghost notes in his bass playing to his music. Then there's Les Claypool with the iconic My Name is Mud. And let's not forget Louis Johnson's incredible solo on Stump. There's another example of multiple basses on a track. It's not revolutionary. The solo section of Stump is at least 2 basses. It's not one. It's two. It's 2. These guys definitely put groove before notes and didn't worry about it. The results were amazing because they knew what they were doing. Jeff's been on a high horse for a long time. Dude, just give it a rest and do what you do. Whew. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Whew. Whew. How you do? Whew. That boy preached a whole word just there. Listen, in the online space, let me be honest with you. We're all marketing something. We're all selling something, right? I love you guys. And especially the folks that I see all the time. Tiny, Excellent, Jay, Bassline Project. Who else is here? Allie on bass. Who else I see in here all the time? Man, I love when I'm starting to see Michael's Bass Camp in here all the time. Man, I love y'all. But I got to eat. I can't do everything for free. I got to eat. You know how long I've been on YouTube before I started Groove School? Shit, I can't just do free tutorials all the goddamn time. So everybody got to eat. That means that I have to at some point run ads. At some, when I make videos, I can't always make. I'm all up in my shondo. Huh? Should have bought a bow tie. All up in your shondo. You still listen. When I make videos, I can't always make videos based on solely what I want, right? And I'm getting to my point. I gotta make you still gotta feed the algorithm. You still have to like make videos that people are searching for, blah 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 blah. And sometimes I hit that mark, and sometimes I don't. That's okay. But we're all in business. Here's what I mean. There are creators in the space. Every time I log into Facebook, I'm going to see an ad from somebody. Y'all are too. You're going to see an ad from somebody. And there may be an ad that pops up that I say, whatever. I don't go commenting on other people's shit. I don't do it. I commented on an ad for somebody who was pushing an AI certification. As a person who uses AI a lot and a person who knows that they're in the job market, especially with older folks who have been, middle-aged folks and up who have been kind of set in their ways, blah, 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 blah. The job market is getting crazy or whatever. There is no AI certification. So and then he pushed back and he said, well, blah, 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 blah. So like, that is not an accredited university or outlet that somebody is that is not going to look good on a resume or whatever. So what I viewed that as a grift is what I viewed it as. But bass creators, I don't comment on their stuff. So when I see Jeff Berlin comment underneath somebody's ad, I think it's whack as fuck. I think that, excuse my friends, I think that is whack. I think that is annoying. I think it is unnecessary. Man, you got your own platform. You got your own thing that you're doing. You making your own money. There's not one bass player, not me, not Jeff, not Vic, not Anthony, not Scott, not Freak Bass, not nobody that is curing AIDS, cancer, or COVID off of playing no bass. It ain't that serious. So I just, I like Jeff. And I think he has valuable information. But he's just like another guy who I will not name, who I think could have a massive platform. And for him, here was this magic space of time where it's like, you are a different face in a certain genre, and you could use your platform to really do something. Instead, he used that platform to say, get off my lawn. And everything he posted was, get off my lawn. I'm like, shit. What a waste. What a shame. What a shame, because now people who would like otherwise be really respecting you and looking to you for this wise tutelage now just look at you as like a grumpy old person. Why do you think young people like why do you think young people like George Clinton so much? Old ass George Clinton. Why do you think they like him so much? There's an article, an interview. I'm gonna find it. It's a few years old. And the article was how to say cool AF forever. Excuse me. The fader. Yeah, here it is. Excuse me, y'all. How to stay cool as fuck forever, according to George Clinton, the funk icon and founder of blah, 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 blah. Y'all can read. Embrace the youth. Look, man, I can't look at young people and be like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Man, the youth, class of 15, gang, gang. I'm stop, Jade. I'm going to stop. But that's going to be the funny point of my whole day. While I go meet my classmates who graduated from high school 37 years ago. Embrace the youth. Chill with rappers. I don't know if I'm going to be doing all that. But create your own wave and keep it funky. Man, I need to hang this on my wall. We all going to die one day. Keep your squad tight. Be about your money. Don't sleep on your peers. Come on, man. Buy shit from them too. Never let a switch your style. Man, follow the booty. But listen, here's the thing. I wonder, I'm looking at this part and I want to read a little bit more in that when he says never let them figure you out. I wonder if Prince had lived, I want to know how much more vocal he might have been on social media. Oh, I want to read this. I bring up the topics for people to think about. I don't try to give them the answers. Food for thought. I say things so you think about it. You should think about it like, what the fuck is he talking about? I bring up a lot of things people don't say. I may say America eats us young. You couldn't say that nowadays. They'd be all over your ass. If I said it nowadays, they'd be all over your ass if you said that nowadays. But it needed to be said from somewhere in my head because I was hearing it from all the other artists we were around and all the kids we were seeing. At any given time, I could be political. It was one thing to have Jimi Hendrix up in there by himself with two white boys, but to have 10 of us up in there doing that, loud as we were doing it, that's a whole nother thing for everybody to see. We were too black for white folks, and we were too white for black folks. I resonate with this statement so much. But the people that liked us kept multiplying day after day. Oh, Tiny, thanks for the super chat. We were too black for white. That was my upbringing. I grew up, my first 5 or 6 to 7 years were overseas. My parents split up, came to New Orleans, but in the South, very much the light skin, dark skin thing. And in the 80s, that whole light skin, dark skin thing was like, and I was like kind of in the middle. So, I was exactly what he says. I was not white. I was not white enough for white people and not black enough for black people. That hit me in my spirit. I just sent a link to the article in the chat. You guys could check out. But excuse me. Rhythm comes first. I want to talk before I get off. I want to talk a little bit about the one. The one. I don't think that there's some mystical, magical potion about the one in and of itself. I think there can be. I think what happens is, Jade, you're like we were back in the days. You've been here before, sis. You've been here before. You've said too much. I've seen your other social media content. You've been here before. And it's all good. You would have loved the 80s though. The 80s was some shit. We had some good stuff. Let me talk about this one thing for a second. So, when I think about grooves, I think about a 2-measure thing that's repeated over and over and over again with variations, right? Now, when Bootsy was talking about his funk formula, he used his Bootsy language. And Bootsy, if you've ever been around Bootsy or you ever watched, observed Bootsy, he's a character. He's like the 90s was super dope too. The 90s was super dope. I was like, I turned 20 in 1990, so I was living my best, worst life for a whole decade. Let me stop. The 90s was a mess. So Bootsy is sort of like Can I be real? Can I keep it 100? Can I keep it 100 without nobody being offended? If there's somebody that's not black in here, I don't want nobody to be offended, but I'm just going to say, the way Bootsy is talking in that video about the funk formula, man, listen, he's talking like the big bro that all of us had in the neighborhood. That's like the black experience. That was my black experience. I grew up on St. Anne Street in New Orleans. We had, I kid you not. I'm going to show you, man, look, because I'm not even lying to you. I'm going to show you. Y'all ready to go? Y'all ready to go on a ride with me? I'm about to show you where I grew up. There was a Baptist church in the middle of the street. And two hourly motels on the corner. I'm gonna show you right now. I'll show you. And there were characters. There were characters in my neighborhood. Y'all think I'm playing? I'm about to show you exactly where I grew up at. You see this house right here? This house right here. I grew up in this house. This house was pink. This house was pink when I was living in it. That back window right there, that was my bedroom. I used to sneak out this window and go down to the quarter. This right here was always green. It's a pink house. Mr. Jack and Miss Vantress and them used to live in this house. Lady used to sell frozen cups out of this house right here. Hold up. Let me show you. Man, I like that car. Y'all think I'm playing about the Baptist church. There's the church right there. That little church. I used to jump over this fence all the time when I was a kid. And right here, they fixing them now. This was the Rainbow Inn. And this was called the Turk. Yep. Y'all know N.O. Joe. You ever heard of N.O. Joe? The Ghetto Boys. He used to stay in this house right here. Yep. It's my old stump right here. But down the street, and all that back there was projects. Before Hurricane Katrina, that was projects. But down here, let me show you. There was a brother that lived. In this house here. His name was Jules Ford. They called him I-Ra. Jules Ford was like a mix between Yoda and a Bootsy kind of character for me. He's passed away, but this was a record store back in the days. This little place right here. I got around the world in a day from this spot right here. But like all this over here was nothing but projects. Anyway, back down memory lane. I just wanted to show y'all where I grew up at. But Bootsy's talking about the one. If y'all kicking it with me, y'all just need to grab your coffee. I'm going to just ramble a little bit. Pete. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I was teaching somebody, I would need to teach you. If I teach you 1, 2, 3, 4, what am I teaching you? Time. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I'm doing it at that speed, I'm teaching you what? Tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's tempo. Tiny, I'm getting to it, bruh. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Tempo. Right? If I say 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. One. The one is just, all I'm doing is saying, I know where beat 1 is. I know where beat 1 is, period. I'm aware of what beat 1 is. What happens when we're all locked in on that one? Groove, like where, am I playing ahead of the beat, behind the beat, on the beat, all that stuff. Rhythm is still, all that stuff ties into rhythm. Musical time, how fast or slow music is traveling in time. Where rhythm, where notes are placed in time. But the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. To the whole freak bass thing, and freak bass is amazing. I think there's a difference between thumping and slapping. And you know who you are. We ain't got to get into no cultural appropriation or no shit like that. I just think that slapping is a different thing. Think slapping and when I think thumping, well, it's emphasized, yes, but it's not. There's no magic. It's just a thing. It's just a thing. When we I think yes, Wayne, it's emphasized. It's there's more emphasis on that beat. But even if it's not played, you know what I'm saying? So Am I playing on the 1 right now? 1, 2, 3. I'm playing the 1. But I'm not playing the 1. What beat am I playing on? playing on beat 2. I play my first note. I play my first note on 2, but I'm aware of where 1 is. I'm always feeling where 1 is. I always know where 1 is. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Anyway. Damn, I've been on with y'all. I went 15 minutes. Crazy. But remember what I was saying about Lewis Johnson? Remember what I was saying about Lewis Johnson? I used to be able to do that, but I would sit down like this. But the bass is the link between rhythm and harmony, but the rhythm comes first. The rhythm comes first. If I tell you to play something out of time, you got to know what in time is first. Right? If I could play... What do I have here? I have... That's the groove. Just 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm always moving. Everything that just happened right there, and I just got back on it, and I have seen people try, they lose where they are in time. They have a fit, sometimes I play a lot in New Orleans. It'd be hot, it'd be sticky sometimes the string, and just the strings are getting, and I say, shit, something then trip me up. But I can't stop and fix that. I have to keep going. I can keep going if I know where I am in time. I need to go take a shower. I need to shave. I need to go to my class of '88 alumni picnic. Gang, gang. Yeah, man. I don't know. Listen. At the end of the day, I think all of the I think it's not good to paint with broad strokes. That's what I think. I think it's not good to paint with broad strokes. I think, context is key for everything. Context is key. Some music is going to be, you're going to need to, Baseline Project 89, gang, gang. You're going to have to, but as for me in my house, rhythm is going to be first. As for me in my house, rhythm is going to be first. Okay, listen, we're not going yet because I want to see the context of this. 10 years. What? 10 years. Yeah, I remember when I was out of high school for 10 years and I was like, damn, I feel old. We gonna make a stop on Instagram real quick. We need to make a stop on Instagram real quick. I'm sorry, y'all. I need to see. And me, I just want to see the original. Freak Bay's been around a long time, and he's dope. He's dope as hell. Where's the original post? Don't nobody try to take what I'm looking at and try to turn it into no controversy, because it isn't.
We won. And we won. This is crazy. Thank you so much to our incredible community.
Where's the original post, yo? Hold on, I want to see the original post. Yeah, I just don't agree. And it's okay to not agree. I just don't agree that notes come first.
Not a fan of slap bass. I know that sounds absolutely crazy for the way when you watch me play, but first off, I don't like the term very much. It doesn't sound very musical to me. Number two, I think people, when they do that technique a lot, they get caught up in the percussive side of it versus the musical side of it. It's more clackety-clackety than it is about the note. So my suggestion to you is think about it, not called slap bass, maybe call it thumping. That's what it like, whether it be Larry Graham or Louis Johnson or Bootsy. I always thought of them as thumping and plucking on the bass, not slapping the bass. And the one thing they always focused on, the reason why I became such a fan of all of theirs, is because it was always about the note, not about the technique. So with Larry, it could just...
That I don't agree with. That's the part I don't agree with. I do fully agree that I think what they do is more akin to thumping, but I would say that what freak bass does is more akin to slapping. This is just
not a fan of
this
slap
is my
bass.
opinion.
I know that sounds absolutely crazy for the way when you watch me play, but first off, I don't like the term very much. It doesn't sound very musical to me. Number two, I think people, when they do that technique a lot, they get caught up in the percussive side of it versus the musical side of it. It's more clackety-clackety than it is about the note. So my suggestion to you is think about it, not called slap bass, maybe call it thumping. That's what it like, whether it be Larry Graham or Louis Johnson or Bootsy. I always thought of them as thumping and plucking on the bass, not slapping the bass. And the one thing they always focused on, the reason why I became such a fan of all of theirs, is because it was always about the note, not about the technique. So with Larry, it could just be one note. It doesn't matter if you're playing it this way or this way. It was all about the notes. So I would tell you, think about when you're practicing, Go between both and just play scales. Between your finger styles. Yes, thump the bass. Don't slap the bass.
Y'all type a 1 in the chat if y'all want me to get off of here. Type a 2 in the chat if you want me to give you my opinion. Because I do have some opinions. I don't, Jade, I'm going to give my opinion anyway. I don't know that that's what he's saying. I see Freak Bass as a guy who has a deep respect for the people, the culture, and the originators of this music. I do believe that. I think what we're talking about is, here is language and semantics and, I do think that what Larry Graham, and I've said this before, and I think Wayne and I have had some lengthy discussions about this, but hey, Joaquin, welcome. I don't know Freak Bass, but I believe him to be a person who has a deep respect for the originators and the style of this music. When I grew up playing bass, I called it slap. Few people in my time, few people called it thumping. I grew up in the 80s, and I grew up in the hood, but few people called it thumping where I was. I didn't hear thumping until later on. To me, names don't mean shit. They don't mean shit to me. Because at the end of the day, music theory doesn't mean shit to me. Because at the end of the day, like I said earlier in the chat, I said, I have a degree in music. I've taught a lot of people. I'm a smart guy. And I understand music. I understand how music works. I don't know everything. Who could? But I'm no dummy. I'm no slouch with this. But nobody cares about my music knowledge, or they don't care about my degree. They don't care how much I've taught. They don't care about any of that when I go to play. Do you know the song? Can you play the song? I don't give a shit how you play it. Can you play it? When I think of thumping, I think of more of a percussive thing. I think of thumping like you would thump somebody. That's what I think. I think of it being more akin to a percussive thing. Slapping. I think Mark King from Level 42 is a slapper. And he's a very goddamn good one. I think Flea is a slapper. And he does a great job at it. I think Les Claypool is a slapper. I think the notes are more out front. When I think about slap bass, I think, and this is just my opinion. I think about notes out front. When I think about thumping, I think about rhythm first, percussion first, and more of an emphasis on rhythm than there is harmony. That's my opinion. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's all semantics. Can you do it or can you not do it? Can you do it or can you not do it? And and a little bit of an issue that I have with JB is it's not something you do. You don't even live in that world. So how much of an opinion can you have? Or should you have? Or do you have? You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that I may have some sort of an opinion on, but I'm like, I don't really live in that world, so I don't know. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I don't agree with the notes first thing. I just don't agree with
Not a fan of slap bass. I know that sounds absolutely crazy for the way when you watch me play, but first off, I don't like the term very much. It doesn't sound very musical to me. Number two, I think people, when they do that technique a lot, they get caught up in the percussive side of it versus the musical side of it. It's more clackety-clackety than it is about the note. So my suggestion to you is think about it, not called slap bass, maybe call it thumping. That's what it, like, whether it be Larry Graham or Louis Johnson or Bootsy. I always thought of them as thumping and plucking on the bass, not slapping the bass. And the one thing they always focused on, and the reason why I became such a fan of all of theirs, is because it was always about the note, not about the technique. So with Larry, it could just be one note. It doesn't matter if you're playing it this way or this way. It was all about the notes. So I would tell you, think about when you're practicing, go between both and just play scales. Between your finger styles.
I don't agree with that at all. I shouldn't say at all. Do you guys know what scale he was playing? Do you know what scale he was playing? Do you know what scale he was playing? I know what scale he was playing. Type in the chat if you know what scale he was playing. Please tell me what scale he was playing. Please, somebody tell me what scale he was playing. And then when you tell me what scale he was playing, please tell me what he did to demonstrate the scale. Somebody, please. Somebody, I'm just going to wait. I just want somebody to tell me, what things did you notice? And this is no disrespect to him, but I want, please tell me what you noticed. Please tell me what you noticed. I'll tell you what I noticed. First off, why did Larry Graham invent the style? Okay, Jade says run it back. That's class of 2015. Speak for play it again. All right, I'm gonna stop, Jade. I'm gonna leave you alone.
Not a fan of slap bass. I know that sounds absolutely crazy for the way when you watch me play, but first off, I don't like the term very much. It doesn't sound very musical to me. Number two, I think people, when they do that technique a lot, they get caught up in the percussive side of it versus the musical side of it. It's more clackety-clackety than it is about the note. So my suggestion to you is think about it, not called slap bass, maybe call it thumping. That's what it, like, whether it be Larry Graham or Louis Johnson or Bootsy. I always thought of them as thumping and plucking on the bass, not slapping the bass. And the one thing they always focused on, and the reason why I became such a fan of all of theirs, is because it was always about the note, not about the technique. So with one note. It doesn't matter if you're playing it this way or this way. It was all about the notes. So I would tell you, think about when you're practicing, go between both and just play scales. Okay, I'm going to stay on here a little bit longer. Y'all tell me what you
what you noticed. Tell me what you noticed. Tell me what you noticed. Tell me what you noticed. Y'all ain't gonna tell me I'm gonna sit here and talk to myself then, because now it's on my mind. Funk. Let's talk about funk. A lot of times James Brown funk gonna be in D. D is if I don't know if this bass is in tune or not. A lot of James Brown. What he thumped was, let me focus. A lot of funk, a lot of the Parliament stuff, that type stuff, it'd be E. G major and E minor are going to be related to each other. Relative major, relative minor. G. E minor. If E minor is the 6, it's the 6 of G. If it's the 2, it's the 2 of D. Right? Wayne says thumping is a technique of using your thumb to play a note. It can be muted note. It can be a note. It can be percussive. It could be. Yeah. Listen, at the end of the day, it's like, can you do it or not? You know what I mean? Can you do it or not? Let me finish. E is the 3 of C. E is the 6 of G, the 2 of D, and the 3 of C. Those are 3 different keys, 3 different flavors, but a lot of that funk stuff, the old school funk stuff, is going to have those open E because it's 4-string and E is the lowest note. This is the same reason why guitar players like to play stuff in E, for instance, because physically of the instrument, it's going to, they're going to be allowed to be, it's going to allow them to play in a certain way, But in a night, in a gig, in a night, I'm going to be playing a variation. You know what I sang last night that I've never sung before in my life, ever, in front of people, and I did last night? Guess you wonder where I've been. I searched to find a love within. Now, in that little space of time and in that whole thing, I went from palm muting I went from palm muting. I went to finger picking. I did a little bit of thumping. I did whatever was and I'm not, listen, I'm good at what I do. I'm going to stop playing like I'm not. And ain't no fake humble. I'm a goddamn good bass player. I ain't the best, but I'm good at what I know how to do. But at the end of the day, you want to talk about music or you want to play it. You want to talk about it or you want to play it. Like I said before, if I go to the gig, guitar player, the drummer, the keyboard player, they don't give a shit what I'm doing. The audience, they don't give a shit what I'm doing. They either gonna like it or they not gonna like it. They either gonna like it or they not gonna like it. They either gonna like it or they not gonna like it. You gonna know the song or you not gonna know the song. You gonna be able to play the song or you not gonna be able to play the song. Period. No. So at the end of the day, what and I respect Freak Bass. Whatever he says is cool. Jeff be getting on my nerves because he's like always up in somebody's shit, and I just feel like he should just do his own thing. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Can you play it or not? So for all of you watching, if you've made it this far, anybody who might watch this far in the replay, what kind of music do you want to play? Who do you want to play it with? If Parliament is your bag, figure that out. Listen to the records. Figure that out. If Prince is your thing. Fouls, what's up? You late. We need 20 push-ups. Need to figure that out. Just play it. Just play it. Can you play it? Can you play it or not? Can you play it or not? That's it. I mean, Wayne, you always going there. I don't care if it's white bass players ain't the only people that call it slap. There's black people that call it slap too. But at the end of the day, who gives a shit? Who cares? Can you do it or not? You feel what I'm saying? I mean, that's just me. Can you do it or not? You know what I mean? Like, can you do it or not? Can you do it or not? They don't care. The audience doesn't care. They don't care. But I'm gonna stand on business when I say rhythm comes first. Rhythm is first. Rhythm is first. And I'll tell you another thing. I'll tell you another song. Okay, so here's the deal. I'm not a singer. The guitar player's not a singer, but we've been helping this guy out who's got a regular gig on Bourbon Street. So me and the guitar player, who both actually got fired from a gig on the same day because we're uncontrollable. And we have similar backgrounds. He used to be in LA, played with some names in LA and all that. And I've been doing this. It's hard to puppet master me. Anyway, we've been singing because there ain't no singers, so we've been trading off songs. So I gotta sometimes modify a bass line depending on if I can sing it or not. Like, when I wake up in the morning, love, sunlight hurts my eyes. Something without wanting, love, bears heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, it's alright with me. I just wanna look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. A lovely day. That's me, a bass player, a sideman, being forced into a singer role. Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes, watching the ships roll in, and I watch them roll away again. Sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tides roll away. Ooh, I'm just sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. I left my right. I sing that. I sing If you want me to stay, I'll be around today. Be available for you to see. Well, I'm about to go, and then you know, for me to stay here, I gotta be me. You never being out, that's what it's all about. You can't take me for granted and smile. Come the day I'm gone, we're gonna reach me by phone, because I promise I'll be gone for a while. See, I'm not trying to pressure you, just can't stop thinking about you. You ain't even really gotta be my girlfriend. I just wanna know your name, and maybe sometime we can hook them. Anyway, that's what I do. Now, somebody will say, invariably, when I put out somebody made a comment on a Prince video that I made just recently, and he said, well, I learned from the man himself that you're actually not supposed to do blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I didn't comment back, but I'm like, who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Because if I go to the gig and I play it like that, like I'm playing it, ain't nobody gonna care. Like, forget me nots. Now, I know Freddie Washington does this with his thumb. I can't do that. But if I go to the gig and I go, right? If I do that, ain't nobody gonna say, well, that don't sound, Freddie Washington didn't play like that. In a band, everybody's supposed to know how to sing some backup, but not necessarily. Me being able to sing some things has come out of necessity. Partly out of necessity, partly out of just wanting to be able to do it. And I've got a handful of tunes that I can sing, that I can like. One of the things I was like, and we were fucking around, and then Mike was like, well, can you sing it? And I was like, I don't know. And I jokingly, there was a table behind me, and I was like, hey, what's the first lyric of Brick House? She's a brick house. She's mighty, just letting it all hang out. She's a brick. See how I had to stop playing right there? You know she got everything that a woman needs to get a man. And so when there's parts where I have to like drop out or whatever, I'm with a band, so they'll catch it and nobody will miss it. Nobody will miss it. Another song I do is I was working part-time in a 5 and dime. The boss, Miss McGee, she told me several times that he didn't like my kind. I was a bit too leisurely. It seemed that I was busy doing something close to nothing, but different than the day before. That's when I saw her. She walked in through the outdoor. She wore a raspberry beret, the kind you find in a secondhand store. Raspberry beret. And if it was one, she wouldn't wear much more. Raspberry beret. I think I love her. The part that trips me out is the bridge, and I'll tell the keyboard player, "Hey, I need you to." I have to, so I'll be I can't even remember the lyric, but I also started doing "This is it. It's time for you to go to the wire. You will hit, 'cause you got the burning desire. It's showtime. You got the horse, so why don't you blow? You're so fine. You feel the cute, baby, you know. Cream, get on top. Cream, you will cop. Cream, don't you stop. Cream, sugar, give up." Now, I don't play the line the same way that I would play it if I were playing with somebody. You know what I mean? I don't play it the same way because I have to then, if I'm singing, also, I got to prioritize what's the important thing for me to get out. Is it the bass line or is it my vocal? If I'm singing, then I need to prioritize the vocal, and I need to also communicate to my keyboard player or my guitar player, this is what I need for you to do. I need for you to maybe listen and be into that. And obviously I sing, if there'll be like a Prince block. I'll sing, "Guess I should have known the way you parked your car sideways wouldn't last." I sing it when I'm better, but I can't sing that with a bad drummer, and I usually sing it in G. "Guess I should have known the way you parked your car sideways wouldn't last. You're the kind of person who believes in making out once, I'm leaving fast. I guess I must be dumb. She had a pocket full of horses, Trojan summer news. But it was Saturday night, I guess it makes it alright. And you said, what have I got to lose? Honey, I said, do you recall that? Baby, you're much too fast. Little red Corvette. You need a... Okay, so there's an example for me of thumping. Little red Corvette. Baby, you're much too fast. Yes, you are. Little red Corvette. You need love that's gonna last. I guess I should have closed my eyes when you drove me to the place where your horses run free. So I felt a little ill when I saw all the pictures, the jockeys that were there before me. Believe it or not, I started to worry. Wondered if I had enough class. But it was Saturday night, I guess it makes it alright. And you said, baby, have you got enough gas? Oh yeah, little red Corvette. This to me is thumping. Because it is really like, all I want is the fundamental of the note. You know what I mean? That to me is thumping. And that to me is like, all I'm doing is pulling out the right tool for the job that I'm doing at the time. Let me say that again. I'm doing whatever technique is the right tool for the job at the time. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to tell you what song that I really want to be able to do and play at the sing and play at the same time. But I don't have it down. I don't have it down yet, and I haven't been able to. But I really love this song. I really love this song. Anybody know that bass line? Do you know that bass line? You know that bass line? I've been holding out so long. I've been sleeping all alone. Lord, I miss you. I can't do it. I can't do it yet. I've been hanging on the phone. I've been sleeping all alone. Wanna kiss you. What I used to do too, I used to do this song, If I Had a Harem, but I would do it like how did it go? If I had a harem, baby. Like all the papers say, if I had a harem, baby, like all the papers say, I'd have me a different lady for each and every day. If I had a harem, baby, here's what I do. If I had a harem, baby, here's what I do. I'd give me 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ladies just to take care of you. I'd give me 1 to wash your body, 2 to wash your hair, 3 to wash your hair, and another 1 to wash your there. If I had a harem, baby, here's what I do. I'd have a baby just to make sweet love to you. but I would do that with a looper. How do I pull so many songs out of my hat instantly? If I was your girlfriend, would you remember? Tell me all the things you forgot when I was your man. Hey, hey. When I was your man. If I was your best friend, would you let me take care of you and do all things that only best friends can? Another thing, I'm going to tell you a little secret of mine too. I don't pretend that I'm a singer. I do not pretend that I'm a singer. If I'm singing a song, I know that I'm not a singer. I'm a person who can sing. I can hold a tune in a bucket, but I'm not a singer. So like I'm thinking about my good friend Ashlyn Cole. She's a singer. She's a singer's singer. So I don't like if I'm singing a song like if I was your girlfriend, I'm not trying to be I'm not Prince. I'm me. So I have to do that in my way. You know what I mean? In a range that works for me or whatever. I know the keys that I am able to sing in. So I'll do that. One of the things, one of the songs that I feel like I wanted to pull off last night, but I didn't know the words well enough. And I don't know if I bright lights, big city, going to my baby's head. Bright lights, big titties, big city, going to my baby. I'm playing around because somebody I used to play with used to always do that. Bright lights, big city, going to my baby's head. Bright lights, big city, go to my baby's head. I try to tell her mama, but she don't believe a word I said. It's alright, pretty baby, I'm gonna need my help someday. It's alright, pretty baby, you're gonna need my help someday. You're gonna wish to do the word I say. Now something like that, I don't know if I could do this. Ah, shit, what was that? Let's see if I can do it. Bright lights, big city, going to my baby's head. Well, bright lights, big city, going to my baby's head. I try to tell the woman, but she don't believe a word I said. I guess if you tell yourself you can, you can. If you tell yourself you can't, you can't. So here's what I would do. Now, this is me. This is what I would do. I said, ooh, you know what? I can probably pull this off. So I would then sit there and play it. You know, when I played this with Kenny Brown, I would play. And I would, you know, then I would, you know, I'd switch it up, whatever. But now what I would do is I would put this on my phone and I say, learn. And I would play it with different. I would try it in different keys. Can I play it? Bright lights, big city, going to my baby's head. Bright lights, big cities, going to my baby's head. I try to tell the woman, but she don't believe a word I said. It's alright, baby, you're gonna need my help someday. Alright, pretty baby. Right? I would, and then I would like, you know, I would like, but make all this noise and stuff. And then what happens is, man, and when I say the noise, what I'm talking about, I'm talking about rhythm. And then, then I put the word bright lights, big city, going to my baby's head. Bright lights, big city, going to my baby's head. The woman, but she don't believe the word I said. You know, what's removed is each part. I say, how do I make this, whatever this part is that I'm trying to do, how do I bring the conscious into the unconscious so that I could then focus. So if I'm focusing on the words and I'm focusing on singing, I want to give a decent, at least not an egregious vocal performance, right? I would then work around. When I'm gigging, I play my 5-string. I use 5-string on gig. But Jade, for your question about vocal arrangement, I don't have a ton of. I have that. don't know Overjoyed. But then oh, it's so funny to be seeing you after so long, girl. And with the way you look, I understand. I forgot how it went. You are not impressed. I heard you let that little friend of mine take off your party dress. I gotta learn it again. I'm not gonna get too sentimental like the Lord's thinking Valentine. I don't know if you were loving somebody. I only know it isn't mine. I forgot how I did it. Yeah, I do some stuff like that, but not a ton. Not a ton. Anyway. I'm really... Damn, 2 hours. I'm gone. I'm out of here. You see how this turns into an all-day thing for me? I got other stuff I need to do today. What a pleasure to hang out with you guys on a Saturday morning. Catch you next time. Peace. 2 fingers.